Hey, Awaken Beauties. So today I'm going to be talking about the technology of your beautiful and sexy brain. Now, your brain can be compared to a hard drive on your phone or your computer. You're born with a predominantly empty hard drive, and it can be filled with information. Now, the first 2 to 3 years of your life, you are in an unconscious brain state. And it's almost as if we're like you're sleepwalking. Now, this is the learning and observing time in your life. And this is the period of time when the unconscious mind is heavily being developed. And these forming years are downloading all the information and experiences, just like downloading a new app into your iPhone. Each experience is an app that is downloaded on your internal hard drive. Now, every experience on the app of a phone has two things. One, memory, and the size of the apps and programs that you download have specific amount of information, i.e. megabytes. The size of the experience or memory or trauma will determine the amount of space that you have on the app, and it will make all of this up and fill up your brain. And whether the experience is good or bad, it repeats itself and can always increase the size of the app. And number two is the data type. And the type of the experience you have placed into this category of boxes on your phone screen. For example, the place of your banking credit card apps in the finance grouping boxes. So when you tap on the box, all the financial stuff is pulled up. Now, this is what we call the memory recall. In unresolved experiences, have you ever had too many apps running and your battery gets drained really fast? Unresolved experiences and memories are equivalent to old apps that are continually running in our background. So if you're not paying attention to them or conscious of them, they will absolutely drain your battery. So how do you gain your energy back? First, you have to swipe off unnecessary apps. In processing these old experiences and becoming aware and conscious of what the actions are, swiping them off by recalling the memory, opening up the space in your hard drive, your heart, and your mind, identifying it, and replacing it with a true, life-giving truth is what can erase that app. Now, 90% of our activity during the day is out of the subconscious, and only 10% of our active part of our brain is conscious. Now that tells you a little bit of something. So if we go through our childhood, compound it with experiences through our younger years, and maybe a young man or a young woman trying to be enough but not feeling good enough, having all these experiences, they never get flooded out of the hard drive. Your internal hard drive is sort of every taste, every smell, every experience, every kiss, every bad math grade that you have ever received. And so if we're walking around with all of this data, all of these old files, what the brain does is it wants to go back and pull up whatever looks familiar, smells like, tastes like what you've experienced before. Why? Because we run out of our primitive brain. And the primitive brain is there to do one thing: keep you safe, keep you comfortable, and that's it. So what we want to do is start to use what I call the critical factor filter in our brain. And that is understanding when things come in, if that's right and true for us, being able to identify it, and if it's not, to be able to bounce it back out. Now, if you head over, subscribe to the Awaken Beauty podcast, I've got some fun programs coming up that you will be able to jump into, limited seating, limited availability, but I'm going to teach you the 4 golden rules of how to become more conscious in your life. Now, we've all had great successes. I'm sitting here in a beautiful salon in Wayzata, Minnesota. I call my life a success, but I've also hung by my fingers at the top of a mountain that I climbed, fell all the way down, nearly on my deathbed, had to really look at my life, hit reset, press go, and get in alignment consciously. And this place that I live from is what I want to invite you into. It's incredible. So make sure that you subscribe to the Awaken Beauty podcast, and in the future, I'll be sharing more. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this little tiny lesson about how our brain works, stores up all this space on our phone or our computer, is stored in the data of our files. And if we never go through them, we never swipe right and erase and delete ones that are not useful anymore, we get tired. We attract illness. We become depressed and we have very anxious thoughts. All right. Until next time, stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back. Ciao, ciao.